Hi, this is Carrie Shell from On Point Quilter. This week I was working on a project that required me to use a number of, I'm going to call them nearly white fabrics in my quilt that I was designing. And when I went to the EQ library, I realized there really weren't very many true white fabrics, and so I decided I needed to create my own fabric collection and add them to EQ. And so I thought I would share my process with you. Okay, once I've opened Electric Quilt, I'm going to close the tip of the day. I'm going to create a new project and I'm going to call it True Whites. And I'm going to select OK. So I'm going to start by looking at View Sketchbook and going to the Fabrics tab and then just clearing everything out. So I'm going to select Clear and select OK, and I can close that. So now I'm going to go to Libraries and I'm going to go to the Fabric Library. And I am going to do a search. I'm going to go into the By Color and go to the whites. And you can see when you look at the whites, there's a lot that are really a white background with a colored print in them. So there are a few though that do look like they're true whites, so I'm going to put those in my collection to begin with. So I'm going to use the Control key and I'm going to select the ones that I want to add to my white collection. So I think I'll take those 4 and I'm going to go ahead and add them to the sketchbook. Now I think I'm going to try to make a few of these others a little bit whiter, so I am going to go ahead and also select those and add them to my sketchbook as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to my cool grays, and I think there are quite a few in here that might make sense to lighten up a bit and put in my sketchbook as well. So now what I need to do is go ahead and view my sketchbook, and now I've got all these fabrics that I want to move to basically photos. Okay, so each one that I want to change, I need to click on it and basically say copy to photos. And unfortunately I do need to click on them one at a time. And once I've done that, I'm actually going to go to Library, Fabric Library, go to my sketchbook, and I am just going to delete everything from here to the end so I don't get confused over what's in my white collection and what isn't. Okay, so now I'm going to view my sketchbook, go to my Photo tab, take the first item, and basically edit it to the image work table. And now I can select Image, Color, and I like to use Hue, Saturation, and Lightness. So one of the things that I can do is lighten it, which will make it a lot whiter. Now I could also change my hue if I wanted to, although that didn't have a lot of change on that. You know, so if I wanted sort of more of a purple tint, I could do that and then still lighten it. But it is significantly lighter than what I had before. And so once I've done that, I can close, and then I'm going to go ahead and select the next one and select Edit. And again, it's Image, Color, Hue, Saturation, Lightness, lighten it, I try not to get rid of every bit of tint, otherwise I won't be able to tell the difference between my lights. Add to Sketchbook and close. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back to my Photos tab, and I am going to find where I started to make changes to them. So I think it would be right here, and I'm just going to click on each of them and select Copy to Product to Fabric. And so now I'm going to go to my Fabrics tab, and I think I'm going to take that one out. That seems a little bit too dark. But everything else probably qualifies as light. So now what I'm going to do, so I have this to use in future projects, is go to Libraries, Fabric Libraries, and I'm going to go to My Library, and I am going to create a custom collection. I'm just going to go ahead and add a library, and I am just going to say created fabrics, and I'll say OK, and I'm going to select created fabrics. Let's see if I can find it here. And for the first style, I am going to right click on it and say modify style, and I'm going to call these true whites, and I'm going to select OK. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my sketchbook, select the first item, do a Control or Command plus the A key, and I'm going to do a copy, and now I'm going to go to Libraries, True White, and I'm going to select Paste. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a Save Library. And so now when I work on projects, I'm going to have a collection of true whites. Thanks so much for watching. For additional tips and techniques, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com.